Hello everyone and welcome to the last episode of the character modeling tutorial series. In this episode we will be discussing how to make the head for a character. Please note that this tutorial is gonna follow a workflow that works best for characters that has a realistic or semi-realistic facial structures. As for the characters that needs to have a more stylized facial structure to serve the shading like cartoon or anime characters, refer to my other tutorial for head retopology. So first off, add the reference image for the head of your character. Make sure you have one aligned for the side view as well. Then make a sculpt of the head that defines the topology of the facial features. I will skip this part as this is not a sculpting tutorial, but you will not need any advanced sculpting techniques as this is just a base mesh to work on as a reference. You can make slight edits to the mesh we will make for the head later. Note that my sculpt doesn't have eyes. This is optional. It will make things easier for you later on if you sculpt the eyes as well, but I prefer to define the eyes in the end manually. Okay, the real process begins now, and this is called the head retopology. We will start by making a plane and align it between the nose and the lips. Add a shrink wrap modifier, and the target will be the head sculpt that we have. Then go to edit mode and start aligning it to the mesh topology. The shrink wrap will help, but for best results, you'll have to make sure that the vertices are not inside the sculpt or too far from the surface. Start making extrudes to circle around the mouse. Then again, make sure that the vertices are in place. Once done with this part, we will do the same process around the eyes. Duplicate or add a plane and move it to the inner corner of the eye. Confirm its distance from the surface, then make extrusions circling the eyes. Extrude from the left side of the eye 2 times to the middle line of the face to make the nose bridge. The number of edges will increase automatically as you process, so don't add too many at first. Start extruding the bottom eye and filling the cheek and nose bridge. Shape the vertices around the nostrils as the nose will have a certain structure. Try to shape the vertices to resemble the facial structure of your character's head by moving it along its axis, and that's by pressing double G. Now we will shape out the nose basic structure, then start knifing out manual insets to add more definition to the nose. Please note that I use this method of adding extra vertices on only the parts that needs it, because adding too many edge loops over the whole mesh just to make ends meet will cause you tons of issues later on, most obviously when you will try connecting the head to the body. The hard part is over, the rest is just a filling. Extrude the temples of the head from the outer corner of the eyes, then extrude the forehead from the top side of the eye, and start stitching them together. Then you'll do the same with the chin and cheeks to fill out the jaw. Now from the forehead, start extruding the top side of the skull. It's recommended that you try to follow the number and placements of extrusions and edges that I made for the first attempt at least. Once you get the gist of it, you can make all the changes you want to follow your character's head topology better, as I have it here. There are fundamental rules for face retopologizing, but every face has its own perfect topology. It's like we all have facial muscles, but not all of us have the same facial structure. So if you want a very accurate result, you'll have to understand the essence of this process to be able to come up with the perfect topology for the face. But in basic ruling, it all has a similar foundation. Like for me, the first head topology I made, I just followed someone else's tutorial, and later on I started making my own basic structure for facial retopology. From the side of the face, start extruding the rest of the head, connecting it to the back, or just make a face and add edge loops in between. Then start filling out the empty space in between the top side of the skull and the side of the head. Now the last part will be the lips and the eyes. Make extrusions between the lips and bring them together to one another, leaving only a slit. Make sure that all the vertices are positioned perfectly to match the shape of the lips, so that you wouldn't have to add too many edge loops around it. Then go to the eyes and start shaping it to the reference. The edge loops around it will serve in making the eyelids and the eye bags. No more edge loops will have to be added though. It's just a matter of positioning. And that's what I meant when I said that adding the eyes part to your sculpt will help you later on, and that I prefer to do it manually. The head is technically finished, but I will demonstrate how to add more definition to certain parts without having to add tons of edge loops. Now that we are done with this, we just have to connect the head to the body. We have to make sure that the parts of the meeting have the same number of vertices, as you can see in the statistics. If you haven't added too many extra edge loops during the process, this should be easy. If you want to cut down on the number of vertices the head has, you can do some collapsing on the backside of the head as it's not seen, but this method has its limitations, so don't count too much on it. In the end, just smoothen out the whole character where it needs it, and add some definition where it needs, but don't add too many edge loops if you wanna keep your character medium or low poly, especially if you are using it in a video game. Before we skip the end of the video, I would like to make a little announcement that I made a community Discord server to help out artists both 2D and 3D. It helps connect with one another, and I can personally help anyone who has any technical issue relating or not relating to my tutorials. You can also showcase your within progress or finished pieces for feedback. So I hope to see everyone who watches my tutorials joining the server. I hope everyone found this tutorial helpful. Thank you all. Don't forget to also like and subscribe. Until next video.